Hi there, Sandra here from Createinspain and Siser Juliet Beginners to Pro. I have two pieces of item, well, this one's card, quite a stiff card, 300 GSM I think it is. This is a heavy duty bookbinding plastic. It's a pack of Fellows bookbinding plastic. Now this is the frosted one, so you can actually see it, but they do a clear one as well, and I think they do it in a couple of colours, but I'm not sure about the weights for the other coloured ones. So I've cut this out, which is basically like you do any other stencil. But if you notice, I have a little finger tab here, almost, and another little finger tab here. Now they're not finger tabs, they are for lining things up. Because in my design, and what I did was I went into Shortcut Slot, designed a flower. The back layer of the flower I put a graduated fade on, and that goes from the outside to the inside. And then I just added the yellow circles for the centers. So I made one flower to start with, and then I just did a repeat pattern. Now the pattern that you put it in is entirely your choice. I chose lines, so I did 2 lines of these, and then I staggered 1 line underneath, and then I repeated those 2 lines down my card. So I did this as a print and cut. This bit is obviously the print, and then the outside line being a cut line. So this bit you sent to print and cut, print, and this line you set to print and cut, and you put registration marks on. So once you got this done, you can then lay this over the top of it, and you might be thinking, what on earth would you want to do that for? But because I've got these little finger tabs here, I can line it up properly. So I know it's not going to go that way round, but it does go that way round. And as long, I mean, I know I've got it on the same size, but as long as I have those sides matched up, then that's where it should be. Now you might say, well, because you got it the same size, it wouldn't make any difference. If I was to turn it over, there can be a difference. So, for example, the flower is on the far left on the second row, and on here it's on the far left on the first row. So that makes sure that you line it up completely for whatever pattern that you were doing. All I did was I copied and pasted the actual cut lines to do the stencil itself. So the two are identical. What would I want to do that for? Well, I'm going to emboss it, and this is going to be a way of doing a really great embossed image for a card front or something else that you might want to do. So I use a Gemini, and I have found the best way to get a good emboss with my particular combination is to have the base, the opaque plastic mat, the silicone mat, such as it is, and I've got 2 very, very thin pieces of craft foam on the top of there. Put this on here, put the top of my sandwich on, and then I will send it to my embossing machine, and we'll see what happens. And shortly you will get the reveal. By the way, when you cut out these pieces, you don't have to throw them out, particularly if they're plastic. You can use them for backgrounds for embossing or for masking, for spray painting, all that sort of stuff. So let's put this to one side. And there we have a fun look. It did slip very slightly. I probably should have actually taped it together. I didn't. But this would be cut down for a card front, but you can see from the back side of that how embossed that is, and that gives a really nice dimensional effect. So there we go, something else that you can do with your cutting machine that you may not have thought about, and it does give a really, really nice effect. Those flowers really do look quite dimensional. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I will leave a link to the file down below with some other variations of styles.